The other day, I bought $30 worth of Bitcoin. I bought it on one application and paid 69-cent fee. And then I went and I tried Strike and I paid next to nothing. I thought that's kind of cool. Okay, so thank you, Jack Mahlers. We appreciate that. Competition makes us all better, right? There's pressure, and that pressure will continue. So when will that end? That won't end. It's a lot harder to seize $1 billion of Bitcoin than it is to seize $1 billion of land, or $1 billion of art, or $1 billion of gold, or $1 billion of a building, or $1 billion of stock. Exponentially harder. If I have $1 billion in a bank, it's easy to seize $1 billion in a bank. If I wanted to take all the money from everybody in Argentina, I could do it overnight if it was sitting in cash or credit. But if I wanted to seize all the money from everybody in Argentina and they all used Bitcoin and held their own keys, I would have to incarcerate 70 million people for 90 days, and I'd have to sweat it out of them. So how hard is it to jail 70 million people for 3 months? And how many people do I need to do that? It's very difficult. 1,000 times harder, 1,000,000 times harder, 10 million times, probably 10 million to 100 million times harder to seize the asset than it is to seize cash or credit. What is one Bitcoin? 1/21 millionth of all the energy in the network. And what is it going to be in 1,000 years? 1/21 millionth of all the energy in the network. Okay, who's that interesting to? Everybody that joins the network. Who can join the network? It's open, permissionless. Anybody on Earth can join the network. Okay, so is that everybody? Well, not everybody, because some people haven't joined the network, but it is more inclusive than any other thing, any other property network. Why Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is the most universally desirable property in space and time. It's the property with the lowest maintenance cost. You could put $1 billion of Bitcoin in cold storage and you don't have to pay 2% a year to maintain it, or 5% a year, or 10% a year. The maintenance cost on a boat is 10% a year. The maintenance cost on a building is 3% a year. If I tell you there's 21 million blocks in cyberspace and each one's a Bitcoin, and the world's going to consist of 21 million blocks, and you showed up there 200 years before everybody else showed up, you would think, I'm just going to start buying city blocks in cyberspace as fast as I can. So we bought ourselves some, and then we realized that there are more to be bought. And so we kept buying. If you think it's not going to zero, then rational thinking is the competition in the market is making my Bitcoin more valuable. That's good. But the competition is making my existing business less profitable. That's bad. And if I'm a genius and I execute well, maybe I can stay ahead of everybody else. Maybe. But while I'm doing that, every single free dollar I can raise, I should convert to Bitcoin, because there's out of 100 possibilities, there's 99 paths where you fail and Bitcoin succeeds. And there's one path where you fail, where you succeed and Bitcoin succeeds. And, some people don't think Bitcoin is going to succeed, but they're not with us, right? You don't think Bitcoin is going to succeed, go do something else, whatever with your life, but don't try to create a Bitcoin business. My closing remark is, I thought Bitcoin was a good idea in August of 2020. There's every single month for the past 13 months, there have been fundamental developments in the space that have made it a better idea. Every single month, every week, I almost see a new development that makes the network stronger, smarter, faster, harder. It makes it more anti-fragile. It makes it more like, it becomes clearer and clearer that this is the future of digital property. This is digital energy. This is the future of digital money. This is the solution to the problems of the world. This is a macroeconomic imperative for $500 trillion worth of capital. This is a technical imperative for everybody in the technology industry and the energy industry. And this is a moral imperative for everybody on earth, right? So I've just become more convicted every single week, every single month that's gone by. There's not a single thing that's happened the past 13 months that I thought caused me to think that the future was riskier or less certain. I mean, even the China exodus, right, which was probably the most brutal event that we've seen, it was a good thing for the network, and it removed the biggest existential threats. You know, is Bitcoin going to be hijacked by the Chinese government? What about a 51% attack? You know, how anti-fragile is the network? Is Bitcoin American or Chinese technology? After the China exodus, it became clear that Bitcoin is US technology. This is good for the Western world. This is part of the Western technology stack. This is Google and Apple and Amazon and Facebook and Bitcoin, right? This is so the worst thing that happened was the best thing that happened. Everything else has been a good thing to happen. It's like, you know, you're watching every shoe drop. Companies adopting, banks adopting, politicians supporting,